Sagittarius, hello, welcome back. Today I am doing a reading for May 23rd until May 29th, 2021. This will be for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs in Sagittarius, should you cross-watch. And as always, this is a general reading and it just might not resonate for you, which is totally okay. Take the things that are for you today and leave everything else behind. Let's get into your higher vibes. Our love readings last week were so popular, so know that they will come back. But this week we're just going to focus on general energies and see what comes up for us. As always, if this reading does resonate for you, please leave me a thumbs up and leave me your comments or questions down below. It means so much to me to get to hear from you and interact with you, so never be shy. And if you haven't done so already, hit that dang subscribe button, would you? I'm here every week and I would love for you to be as well. Wow, we've had the Tower come up in so many readings this week. It's very interesting to me. Overall energy for you, Two of Wands. We're looking at the future. We are doing some planning, getting our ducks in a row, so to speak. In the recent past for you here, Sagittarius, we have the Hierophant, the Knight of Cups, and the Five of Cups. I feel like you are in a space right now where you've come into contact with somebody and there is a little bit of a budding romance maybe happening here, but you're having trouble really getting focused on it because it's bringing up for you some past trauma that you need to deal with, and some past hurt and feelings like that just, you can't help but have them surface just in the face of the prospect of new love. So that's something that I think you've been internally dealing with, likely just presenting itself as holding this person at an arm's length for you right now, but it's just been something that's been on your mind. And I think that carries through as we come into present energy. We have the Tower, the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So, how do I, sorry, just like digesting everything here. I think this resurfacing of the feelings is going to catch you off guard, Sagittarius, and you're going to be surprised that that is your response, that you're not responding in turn with like flirtation and with open heart energy, and instead that it's bringing up for you these past hurts, and that's going to be challenging for you, and it's going to put you in a position where you kind of have to abruptly face everything. And I don't know that you're feeling fully prepared to be doing that just yet. It's going to become something that really starts to cloud your judgment, becomes the primary focus of everything you're doing. Suddenly we're looking at this prospective relationship, because it's not something we've pursued yet, through the lens of the previous relationship. So projecting onto this person the ways in which we expect they are going to treat us based on how we were treated in the past. And that's a very challenging position to be in, because it makes it so that you're not going to be able to really fully see how they are trying to treat you in the future, what they are trying to show you of their heart, of their soul, of their personality. So it's like you're putting this false persona on this person, out of a lens of what I've dealt with before, the trauma I dealt with before. It's like it's going to hit you really quickly and really hard, and it's going to make it hard to see this person objectively. So be really mindful and conscious when these big feelings surface for you in the presence of somebody that you should, have warm reception towards or feel good around. And where is that coming from? What is triggering that for me? Why is this being brought up? As we come into the future energies here, Ten of Wands, Justice, and the Page of Wands, you're going to make a really mature move here, Sagittarius. I think you're recognizing like, wow, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared to be with somebody else. I'm not prepared to take this person's heart into my hands, because obviously I can't objectively deal with them. I can't objectively and authentically move forward with them. And I see you making this very grown-up decision to walk away from it, because you're aware that you're going to hurt them, and it's not because you want to hurt them, it's because you're not done healing for yourself yet. And this is going to be the catalyst for you to start to get back on that healing journey. I think these feelings that are surfacing are ones that, like, you reached the end of that last relationship and you thought that you had put it all to bed, you thought you had processed it, but really more you like hid away from it. And now in the face of having a love interest, it's all just coming back up, bubbling back up to the surface and catching you really off guard. So, these are the lessons we learn. Let's see what else we can figure out. We'll start with this Two of Wands and the overall energy. Eight of Emotions, Knight of Voices, and the Queen of Materials. Yeah, Sagittarius, is interesting here. I think you're going to find yourself wanting to just be focusing on your business, building yourself up, getting your voice out into the world, and not yet prepared to invest energy in that romance. And again, you know, wanting to just move away from it versus moving into it. But I think all of this right now has been a reflection of wanting to leave the past in the past because you don't want to deal with it. Not because you've dealt with it and put it to rest, but just because I don't want to deal with it. I'm turning my back on it. And then it's just going to keep cycling. It's going to keep surfacing for you here. So this is going to be a real opportunity as you look into your future for what from that past do I need to heal in order to authentically walk into my future as the strongest version of myself. Come on, Ellen. All right. Let's take a look in the recent past here at this Five of Cups. Try not to throw any more cards. The Emperor, the Hermit, and the Ten of Emotions. Yeah. I think this last relationship that you were in was very all or nothing, and you really thought it was going to be all. You saw this as being like the long-term thing. That was where you were the happiest. You don't feel like you're ever going to find that happiness again in somebody else. And so you've been really embracing just this like solo lifestyle since then and trying to like find your happiness for yourself. But there is recognition that there's a little bit of avoidance in being able to, you know, give yourself that full emotional happiness because you can't do it necessarily alone. You do want that love. I think there's just hesitancy, and it's coming from a place having not healed that trauma, you know, not healed that hurt. Let's take a look at the Tower down here in the present energy. Muse of Emotions, Five of Materials, Seven of Emotions. Yeah, I think this previous partnership that you were in constantly had you feeling like you weren't quite good enough, that you weren't doing enough, that you weren't invested enough, that your feelings weren't right, that your feelings were too much, they weren't enough. It was like this whole thing where you were never able to like reach them where they wanted you to reach them. And just the prospect of potentially having another relationship, potentially having a love interest, resurfaced all of that for you. This feeling of insecurity, this feeling of this person is also not going to think I'm enough. They're not going to think I can contribute enough. And it's just like, we're living in the future. Anxiety talks to us about living in the future. We're not in the present moment. We're not in the past. When we're anxious, we're scared of the future. We're living in the future. It hasn't even happened yet. And for you here, that's what's going to happen. And you're just going to be like projecting it onto this person. And they don't have any understanding of what this hurt is or where this trauma is coming from. So obviously, you know, some things that need to be healed here, Sagittarius, for you to be able to have a healthy relationship moving forward. Let's take a look down here at the Page of Wands, your energy that closes the reading in the future. Four of Inspiration, Five of Emotions, and the Five of Voices. I think ultimately, Sagittarius, you really do want a happy, prosperous, and stable future. And I think that you do want to be able to share that with somebody else or others if you're polyamorous. But there are some things that you need to work on. And I think that you are starting to really recognize that. I do think that this like love interest that surfaces for you, that resurfaces all of this trauma, is going to actually be the strongest healing tool that comes up for you here, because it's putting you face to face with your subconscious, with all the things that you've been suppressing inside of you. And you're going to recognize, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I do want to be able to find a love interest, find somebody to move forward in life with, find somebody to build with. But I am now realizing just the extent of the hurt that I'm carrying, the extent of the anxiety and stories in my head that I tell myself about me that make me feel like I am unworthy of love. And this is going to really help you recognize for yourself that you are worthy, that you do want love, and that you need to just make these changes, work towards, you know, healing some of that so that you can really get what you deserve in life. And everybody deserves love, you know, I really do believe that. We'll take one last message here from Spirit for you. 10 of Cups, the Star, And the Queen of Pentacles, look at you. You want something grounded, something stable, something that can move at a nice pace. I think in your heart of hearts, Sagittarius, we're coming to this revelation that what I do want is long-term happiness. What I do want is the prospect of family, the prospect of togetherness. And it's something that like I continue to tell myself I don't want when really I do. So I think this is all going to be a learning experience that's helping the healing journey. And I hope that you'll see it that way. I really hope this was helpful for you. If it was, leave me that thumbs up, do subscribe, and I'll see you next week.